City News on TV Rotorua is proudly brought to you by Trade Central.
Good evening, Rotorua. Tonight on City News. The creme of local fashion was on display at the inaugural Oho Fashion Show. Police are warning locals to be on the lookout for counterfeit banknotes this Easter. And local netball fans are gearing up for Sunday night's ANZ Netball Championship match between the Magic and Mystics. But first, Chamber of Commerce CEO Darren Walsh says recent reports showing the city's economic future is on the up is great news for the city. The reports by independent consultants Infometrics and Burl present a promising picture of our economic future in the immediate and longer terms. Mr. Walsh says reflected in the reports was the increase in new businesses opening up in the city. And he says if you're opening a business or it's your first time starting a business, the Rotorua Chamber of Commerce can help.
Look, if you've never gone into business and you're too scared, you might have a great idea. Talk to people and you can start at the Chamber. We can put you in the right direction. I mean, obviously, if you're going into business, it's business plans and understanding what market you're trying to tap into. But we can help you in putting all that together. We can point you in the right direction and we can give you some guidance and some help.
The creme of local fashion was on display at the inaugural Oho Fashion Show. Adrian Whitewood, Carl William Wedepa and Mariana Nathai, three of our top designers, showed their latest collections to a very appreciative audience. Police are warning of counterfeit banknotes being used at retailers around the North Island. The notes have been $20, $50 and $100 denominations. Senior Sergeant Simon King says typically the offenders have gone into shops and supermarkets, purchased a small item using a large denomination note and then receiving legal tender as change. Senior Sergeant King says retailers should be alert to this practice, especially over the busy Easter weekend. He says if retailers are suspicious, they can consider refusing to accept the note, record the description of the person offering it, and record the number plate and description of any vehicles used by the person, or to call police. For information to help identify counterfeit notes, people can go to the Reserve Bank of New Zealand website, that's rbnz.govt.nz. In sport tonight, local netball fans are gearing up for Sunday night's ANZ Netball Championship match between the Waikato Bay of Plenty Magic and the Northern Mystics. Earlier this week, we caught up with the Magic's only Rotorua player, Samantha Sinclair, who was helping out at the weekend's netball grading. She told reporter Wayne Douglas she's happy to be on home ground and looking forward to Sunday's game.
Absolutely, it's more than a home ground advantage for me as well. Yeah. You know, it's not just Waikato Bay, it's Rotorua and it's awesome. So I'm expecting to see a lot of faces that I know tune out. The whole family will be there, which will be good to see. But yeah, really cool to come back home and play.
To your weather update now. Tonight, cloudy periods with the chance of showers, light winds and an overnight low of 10. Tomorrow, Friday, fine with light winds, a high of 22 and a low of 9. And looking out to Saturday, mainly fine with evening cloud, westerly breezes develop, a high of 21 and a low of 13. In the marine forecast for Lake Rotorua for Friday, variable 5 knots with waves less than half a metre, and it looks to be fine. If you'd like to catch up on City News, you can find us on YouTube. Just search City News Rotorua, and you can also see headline updates on our TV Rotorua Facebook page. Still to come in tonight's program, we catch up with Rotorua Netball's Mary Thompson ahead of the start of the local season. We check out what's on at the museum over the school holidays, and we're at the Youth Road Safety Expo.
City News on TV Rotorua is proudly brought to you by Trade Central.
Well, it's a big day down here at Netball Rotorua at the netball courts in Malfoy Road. Secretary of Netball Rotorua, Mary Thompson, is with me, and it's a big day all round, but I think especially for the littlies. Why would that be?
Absolutely, because we've got the whole of the Magic team coming here to
They're all
Rotorua
here
today, the whole team.
Wow.
Yep.
So I guess these are role models, aren't they, in many ways?
Oh, they are, and the young children really look up to them, and that's their aim in life, is to become a Magic and then a Silver Fern.
Absolutely, setting your sights high. And of course, hopefully we'll talk to somebody from there in terms of where they started. Everyone had to start somewhere, so it's important to start them young. But let's look at what's happening here today overall. It's the beginning of the season, sort of, but what's happening here today? A lot of activity, a lot of teams.
Okay, it's senior grading day, second day for that, and then after Easter we go into the banner round.
And looking around me here, there's a lot of activity. What sort of response have we had this year?
Okay, we've got 57 senior teams playing this year, which is really great for Netball Rotorua.
So how far afield would they come from?
Probably Murupara, Rotorua, out that way is probably the furthest they come from.
When you say grading, just for the uninitiated like myself and maybe a few people at home, what's the whole idea? Are they being assessed at the moment?
It goes on scores of their games today and who they win or lose, or how they play, and whether they make Premier 1 or B grade.
Let me look at the whole Rotorua and Bay of Plenty netball scene. Is it pretty popular still? Obviously the ANZ Championship on TV and things like that, it must make a difference to the enthusiasm towards the game.
It does, just like the cricket's made that difference to cricket.
That's another subject, yeah, that's right.
ANZ certainly has promoted netball throughout the region.
Now, also looking around here, there's a lot of support crews, like families, like parents and friends. That's a big part of it, isn't it?
It is, definitely. Yep, the supporters all come along and they do their bit as well.
What's involved with the administration side? I know you're the secretary, but you're not just a one-woman band, as it were. It's a team thing, isn't it?
Yes, there's 14 of us on our executive, and we all do our fair share of work.
So what's involved, though? I mean, you've got to plan draws, you've got to plan getting in touch with the clubs and so on.
There's just a lot of work involved, and it's all down to volunteers. None of us are paid, and it's really hard work, actually.
It's 24/7.
It is.
Or 28/7.
Well, my telephone goes continuously, and my husband calls himself my secretary.
He's a netball husband. Yeah, fair enough too. Let's just look quickly at and I know for myself, being a rugby referee during the seasons, it's always hard to get people involved in terms of refereeing, and umpiring's the same. You're always looking for more people?
Always looking for more people, and it's really unfortunate that umpires get so much abuse fired at them, and it puts people off, and we're really working hard here at Netball Rotorua to make sure that this doesn't happen. We've got people that go around the courts regularly making sure that the umpires aren't being abused and they're being looked after.
And I guess it's fair to say also that you're not looking for the experts of netball playing, the people that have played a bit of netball and have got a bit of spare time or whatever, but also at a younger level too.
Absolutely. We've got a great band of young ones coming through that are being trained by Lex Hutchins, and these are the ones that we want to get started and these are the ones that we're really looking after.
And through the whole of the national scene, you've probably got resources for umpires and so on as well.
Yes, and we do run umpires classes and workshops right throughout the season.
Sure. Hey, great to have you with us, and I know there's a bit of a barbecue smell coming up here, so there's a bit of cooking going on, but a lot of work to do. We appreciate what you and the 14 others do, so we wish you all the very best for the Magic visit. It's going to be great.
Thanks very much.
Cheers. Well, as you heard from Netball Rotorua Secretary Mary Thompson, it is a very, very special day, but I managed in the middle of all the chaos and training and workshops to grab a special lady, Sam Sinclair of the Waikato Bay of Plenty Magic. Nice to have you with us, and it's kind of like welcome home, even if it's like very brief.
Oh, it's awesome. I always love coming back here, and I was just saying to the girls before, it's like this is where it all started, you know, looking out at the courts, and I was just reminiscing standing upstairs, but it's awesome to be back.
Yeah, a bit hoarse too in the throat from having sort of yelling and got a bit of a cold, but thank you.
Yeah.
That makes it so much better and so much more special for us that you give your time, you and the girls, to come and help the littlies. But you know, all the Magic players and the Silver Fern players, they've got to start somewhere, and it's good to start them young.
Absolutely. Like, I remember a few years ago when this was me, and I'd be so excited. It wasn't actually that long ago, you know, when it was me getting so excited to see Magic players or Silver Ferns come down, and for these girls here, it's just about taking opportunities, and this is just one of those opportunities to have a go.
It's a bit awe-inspiring for them too, like it's a chance of a lifetime, but obviously what you and the team were teaching the girls here is the basic skill base, very important as well.
Absolutely, and that's still what Julie, our coach, nails into us at trainings, is the basic skills. Netball's, alongside all the fastness and all that sort of thing that comes with it, it's pretty basic. It's catching, passing and shooting and turning that ball over, and if we can get that into them at a young age, then that's good.
And I should remind you at home that I found out today that the kids are getting into the game for a special price of $9.95, nearly $10, whatever that's a pretty good deal. So pack up the whole family and kids and all, and get down there and support these wonderful ladies. And only, I guess, left to wish you all the very best for the season. Once you get the Mystics out of the way, give them a thrashing.
Yes. And
the rest of the season's sort of like watch this space, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure it is. So very exciting times.
All the best.
Cool, thank you.
Kia ora everybody, I'm at the museum now, joined by Kathy Nichols, who's going to tell us about the Easter activities and school holiday program. Kia ora, Kathy.
Kia ora.
So tell me a little bit about all of the excitement that you've got planned for our Rotorua children this holiday.
Well, every year we run a Easter egg hunt, and so kids get clues and they play detective to find the 10 decorated Easter eggs and location where they're located, and then also the rabbit at the end of it, and they get to enter and to win a prize chocolate hamper at the end of the holidays.
All right, so I did ask Kathy before we filmed, can they eat the Easter eggs? Because if I found them, they'd be half eaten by the time I got back to register. But they're not real Easter eggs.
No, they're not real. They won't taste very nice. They're polystyrene, and most of them are hidden beyond reach or within an exhibit. So you really just have to locate where they are and fill it in. You don't need to bring them back, and I wouldn't eat them.
Right, okay. So you can go in the draw to win a nice lot of chocolate?
Yep. So it runs for the whole time of the school holidays, and then on the Monday we put all the entries into a big drawer, and our director pulls out the winning one and they get a big chocolate hamper. They might be over chocolate by the end of Easter, but they can share it out with all their friends.
Oh, I saw something funny actually the other day, someone wrapping fruit in the Easter egg wrapping. We just
Good idea. And healthy alternative. I might be slightly disappointed if I ended up with a bit of fruit in my chocolate, but I know that my kids get overwhelmed with the chocolate, and so I'd like to buy little ones, and then you can kind of spread them out over time.
And it's nice to be able to do something for Easter for the holidays. You've got children, I've got children, yes. So it's nice for mums to be able to know that they can do something with them, because otherwise they just moan at us at home, don't they?
And so then we've also, for the second week of the holidays, from the Saturday the 11th through till the Friday the 19th, we've got free craft for everyone up here, and so people with their museum entrants can come and do free poppy craft, and they can take the poppies home, or they will be added to our installation that will go up for Anzac Day in the museum.
So the yarn bombers are coming along to help with that, just making some simple little crochet poppies?
Yep, so they'll be along on the Saturday the 11th and Sunday the 12th, and they'll help them make the crocheted and knitted poppies, and people can take them away and do it at home, and we've been doing that since October. If it's a bit tricky for kids, we have felt ones that they can make as well, because I don't know how to knit either.
Neither do I, so it'll be felt for me as well. So tell me a little bit more about the rest of the holidays that you've got, other exhibitions that are on here and other things that kids might be interested in.
Yeah, we've got, last Saturday we opened our weaving exhibition Whittier, which has already had lots of people through, but one that I'm really excited about is corrugations, which is the art of Jeff Thompson. Now, most people will know him from some of the things he's made, like the giant corrugated gumboot and tie happy, and also the corrugated Holden that is in Te Papa in Wellington. But he makes huge things out of corrugated iron, and it's a very interesting exhibition. Strange chickens, they've got a little house made out of corrugated iron, we've got knitting needles, weaving, and a big water tank made out of corrugated iron with fish in it that people can come and have a look at.
Oh, so you're always changing. I mean, we come down here a lot, and you know, the old idea of a museum when I was a kid anyway was you've seen it once, and you only need to see it once because it's, you know, it doesn't change that much. But there's always something new happening here. It must be very busy.
It is busy. I mean, we obviously have our permanent exhibitions, so Ngāpu Manawa and the Taking the Cure about when it used to be a bathhouse, but we've got 5 changing exhibition spaces that can be anything from ballet dresses to weaving to photographs or anything like that. And then all of those have events and talks and crafts and different things related to them. So yeah, in the marketing department where I am, we're always doing different posters and flyers for each exhibition and an event.
You've also had a very famous regular guest just recently.
Yes, we've been delighted to have Robert Redford and his wife through about 3 to 4 times since he's been in Rotorua filming Pete's Dragon. So a couple of times we've opened the museum specially for him at night time, and he just loves it. Like, he reads everything, asks questions, and is like, the first time he was here for about 3 hours and he only made it through half of the gallery, and been back last night in particular to see the Whittier exhibition that opened, which shows Māori weaving and also North American, which he's very interested in as well, and his wife. So it was great to have them back. They signed our visitor book last night and we finally got a photograph. So it was really neat to find someone that was so passionate about the museum as we are, really.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for your time. Now, just finally, if you'd like to find out any information, you can, of course, call the museum, but you have a website as well?
Yep. All of the events and exhibitions are listed on the website, which is rotoruamuseum.co.nz.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kia ora everybody. Well, it's very noisy here down at the Sir Howard Morrison Performing Arts Centre. We are here because there is a road safety campaign happening at the moment, and we have Jodie Lawson with us. Now, she's going to tell us what her new title is because it's a bit of a tongue twister for me. Hi, Jodie.
Hi.
So, what's the job that you're in at the moment?
So I used to be the road safety coordinator for the last 10 years, but I'm now the sustainable transport team leader. So I'm still in transport, but just had a slight change, moving up the ladder a wee bit.
Awesome. Well, we're very glad to hear that. So this obviously is a massive accomplishment to get this much happening. So tell me, what has been the preparation and what are your hopes for this event?
So we're in our 4th year now, and we've got all the schools on board, so we get every year 11 student from all the high schools across Rotorua, and on our final day we actually get students from the Eastern Bay. We get 450 of them, so really neat. We've got everyone on board and all our year 11 students come. They get a 2.5 hour session, And during that time they're in the theatre, and then they're just coming out now into the exhibit area where they get to go through a range of interactive activities with a road safety focus.
There are some very cool ones too, and they are interactive. There's one there which I really like, which our own Melanie Groves is doing. She's got the Ghost Chips ad, and you've got to memorise the words and then go back and give them, like, replay the ad. So where have all these ideas come from?
We've just developed them over the years. We do a lot of talking to young people. I've got teenagers myself, 3 of them, so we sort of listen to them, work out what works with them and test a few things, and then we sort of go from there and grow it. We do a lot of research, we find out what's best practice, and we try to do what works best for our community here in Rotorua.
What are the big problems here in Rotorua, or what are the main things that you're focusing on specific to this community?
So our 2 biggest risk areas are young drivers and older drivers. So this is the biggest hands-on campaign that we run, this project, this and Driver Directions, which is our practical driving program. And then for older drivers, we do much the same, but with a slightly different audience, so we have to change and tweak some of the program.
I would imagine that the older drivers might not be so keen to come down and jump on the old PlayStation and what's happening down here. But so obviously there's a lot of quite excited young people here. Like, obviously this is a once-off, but what's the follow-through, what's the carry-on with the schools and that kind of thing?
So ultimately what we will end up doing is we're trying to get the program into the schools, but their curriculum's really full. So at this stage we bring them off-site, but in time we hope to be able to work with them and build upon what we're doing within the schools and adding it into their curriculum.
Well, wonderful. Thank you very much for your time. Final message, if anyone wants to find out information that they can pass on to their teenagers, or if they'd like to go somewhere and learn a bit more themselves, where can they find that?
They can jump onto our council website, or if they're on Facebook, we've got Road Safety Rotorua, that's a Facebook page, and we've also got Driver Directions. So either of those have got information, and they all connect to me or Reid Nakora, who's the new Road Safety Coordinator, so we'll be able to reply to them.
Awesome. Thank you, Jodie. Thank you very much for your time. Kia ora. Well, I'm here now joined by Mark Gould, of course, one of our councillors at the Rotorua Lakes Council. Mark, you're here supporting the day. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts, this is the best ever road safety conference or road safety campaign we've had in Rotorua. This is the 3rd year we've run it, and I just hope that we manage to save some people's lives, that the young kids realise that they're not bulletproof, that accidents do happen, and that they wear their seat belts, and if they are involved in an accident, that they do live. We can't afford to have funerals of young people in Rotorua.
Could you please tell us what the current situation is with the Rotorua Lakes Council and the road safety messages, safe roads and intersections, just a general overview?
At the moment you'll see a lot of squiggly lines on the roads. That's because council have gone around recently and sealed the roads so that water doesn't get through, so it protects the roads even longer. At the moment one of our main aims is the Wairiki Polytech corner. That is a very dangerous intersection. We hope to have it around about there at some stage in the near future. We're also looking at the eastern arterial, going through the process and finding out what's the best method and best route for that to take.
That was Rotorua Lakes Councillor Mark Gould talking to Kiri Danielle. To contact City News, you can phone the station on 07 3488 984 or email news@tvrotorua.co.nz. Thanks for joining us tonight. From all the team here at City News, Paul Maria.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.
City News on TV Rotorua was proudly brought to you by Trade Central.